Hey, so I've watched a lot of videos about how to rank up, etc., but none of them offer anything like specific. They're like general tips that yeah, sometimes they work and sometimes they're easy to follow and they do improve your gameplay, but they're not kind of concrete. Like they're sometimes really vague, like don't die or like do this or like always throw smokes or something or like aim better, like for fuck's sake, how is that helpful? Or like practice or play more. That's like the dumbest thing I've seen in the video. Play more. Like yeah, of course, but like what else can you give me except for like, hey, I can't help you, you should just play more. Like what the fuck? No, that's not why I came here. So first thing you have to do is realize your win conditions. Win conditions for CTs and these are kind of similar. If you kill everyone, you win. So that's the same. Other than that, CTs can defuse the bomb or just stall out the time. So basically, counter-terrorists can win with just waiting, basically for 2 minutes. I think it's 2 minutes. And these, on the other hand, have to do something to get the bomb planted, because if they don't plant, they don't get the money, which is kind of an important mechanic, because if you kill them after they lose the round, they not only don't get any money for just surviving for the next round, but they will also lose all of the equipment they have right now if you kill them afterwards. So you should always try to hunt them after the round has ended. Of course, if you die in the process, that's a lot worse for your team, unless you have like full stacks of money. And yeah, so I see a lot of people playing very like stupidly aggressive, in my opinion, as CT. Like they think that if you just stand here, let's say, for 30 seconds or so and nothing happens, they just start to either rotate or just like pushing aggressively for no reason, because they think that like they're bored or impatient and they just want to get some action. They start pushing. When they come here, they get like 1 versus 2 and they get wrecked, and like it's a free sight afterwards. So as a CT, it's better to get a 1 kill for sure than to like go and do some, I don't know, magic trick and out aim them. Like you never want to think that they're worse than you or that they won't get a lucky shot. So you just sit in a spot and wait for them to come and just get a kill, change position, get another kill. So that's what you want to do perfectly as a CT, and all you have to do to win the round is sit like that for 2 minutes and you win without losing anything, and you gain money after winning. That's like the perfect case scenario. Like you have to be patient enough to wait for 2 minutes basically every round and rotate only when the bomb is dropped or they're like already going ham on the other side and your mates are calling for help. So that's what you should do. Like a lot of people don't do this enough. Like and the way you wanna aim is not aim like this. This will just get you killed like instantly. Like if the spot where you have to think what does the enemy see when they come in. If it's a common spot, it will get pre-fired usually, or at least like pre-aimed. The difference between pre-fire and pre-aim is the fact that you pre-aim and don't shoot, but pre-fire is just without looking, you just go tap and like without checking if he's there or not. But it gives away your position if you're. So that's the difference between those two. So if you're sitting in a spot that's gonna be pre-aimed or pre-fired, don't expect that you will, I don't know, magically just get kills. You should be in a spot that is covered or unexpected, or like or a spot where there are multiple places where they can be shot at, so that they're not sure which spot they should check first. Like here would be a spot where you check this area and like short as well, and maybe even window if you can get through there. That maybe with an op you can get the shot, I'm not sure. So that would be a good place to go. Like this spot, for example. Like nobody really expects you here at all. Like I like usually this spot because when they go in, they check window, they check short from this area, and then because you can see it from there, and then they go somewhere here and they want to jump out or something, and they don't see me here at all. So the way you do it is you align, like you want them to see the least of you as you can. This shows more of you than this. So you usually want to align the walls so that there's less of you to see. Because this doesn't give you like any difference in the way you aim, the amount of aiming space. So you just wait for them here. Tap. If nothing happens, just go like this, and you can even go like this, but you have to be aware that they can jump down and you can't see. If you can hear them jumping down, it's fine. You can do this and then just like kind of like that. So the way you want to play is always playing safe, playing smart. You have to win rounds and not frags. You never want to hunt, like except for the, as I mentioned before, after the round ends and you want to get rid of their equipment and stuff. So you always want to be aware of the situation, how many people are coming, and make calls ahead of time, not like when they're already jumping in, taking the side planting, and you're just only then making the call that it's B. So you have to assess the risks that this spot would have. Like each and every spot and each and every position has its own benefits and disadvantages. That's what people don't seem to understand. That like if I'm standing here, this spot gives me a good position, like a certain amount of surprise, because if they can't see me, like I have an advantage of sorts if I know he's short. But like the disadvantage is that this is spammable. And you have to be aware of that, and you can be shot at from 3 sides. If you're like the only one is there, one is short, and one is kitchen, you're pretty fucked. And that's a disadvantage. Like in every position there's a disadvantage and an advantage. Some have more, some have less. So you have to be aware of how the enemy will perceive you, how can you see them, like if there is an advantage for you. If this place is, for example, like flashable or not, usually they flash kind of like that. So you wouldn't see this if you were standing in the position I was just at. Like here, you wouldn't see this, probably. I don't think you would. yeah, you wouldn't see this. So they might assume that you're flashed if you're short, but you won't be. So that's a thing. That's what you have to keep in mind. Another thing. So the basic morale is that you win rounds, not frags, and every round counts. You have to assess the situation with the nades. Like, you have to assess what do you have, what do they have, what might they have, like when to smoke, how to smoke, what reason, like smoking at the beginning of a round, like just listening to them, and like if they come, just spray them down, etc. That's a valid strategy, why not? And like flashing them in, stalling, if you know that they're coming for sure, just throw flashes, call out for your mates to come, and those flashes, they delay for like 8 seconds if done properly, because each flash, I think it's flashed for 4 seconds or something, like the perfect flash, you know, when you're still confused. You can still run, but you might run into the wall. So throw those flashes. Like, it's better to use nades earlier than not use them at all, because not using them at all is such a waste. Like, you just lose them. If you had one smoke, for example, then yeah, maybe your teammate can pick it up, but like if you have 3 or 4 nades left, none of them used, that's like such a waste. So don't be afraid to use them. And like most of the people I see, they only use a smoke, and then after that there are no nades left, no nothing. They go afterwards here and just try to peek and like etc, and with nothing, like no cover, no. So yeah, you have to assess, and also everything you have in this game is a resource. Your mates, your radar, your well, kind of. Your mates is in the timing of your calls is kind of a resource. If you can predict it fast enough, it's an advantage for you. Basically, it's all ties into timing, and the smoke stall time, flashbang stall time, fire nades stall them. That's why you see a lot of pro games based on smokes and stuff. Smokes and nades, basically, because if you say that their aim is an equal level, which is probably not, but approximately the same level, it becomes all about the nades and how much advantage you can get, how much information can you get from your situation. So and a lot of people assume that if it's just smoked, that it's like nobody can shoot through and nothing will happen. This is such bullshit. Like, I can't believe what people like say, call wall hacks, etc. whenever you kill them. This is like amazing to me. Because good players know the approximates of every map. If I were to close my eyes, I would approximately know how much I need to walk and where to approximately aim to shoot in this area. And maybe I won't get a headshot, but I will damage him like, I don't know, 50% of time? I don't know, like, depends. Sometimes you get a lucky shot, sometimes you get a kill, but usually you just damage them. If you get smoked like that, you just go and like tap, 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 tap. And you will kill them eventually, or like give information for your mates. Another thing you should be aware of is that, let's do, oh, this. For example, this shadow is not covered by the smoke, which is kind of fucked up. But this shadow, if I see a shadow walking, I'll just aim. Maybe don't aim at the head or something, but just follow from the shadow and just shoot in the body. So shadows can still walk past, and if you can find a good spot for the smoke, and you can see the shadow, you can just wait here and wait for them to come with the shadow. Yeah, and people just assume that that you're hacking or whatever, but there's a lot, like there's sound, there's prediction, there's like, you know, the angles as well, if you've played enough. So what you want to do when you're playing, for example, CT, is to just pick spots, as I said before, where you won't be pre-fired, and where you can get a headshot or a kill, and then just hide again, because that's all you want to do basically, and wait for your teammates to come. Like if you stand here, get a kill, and hide, and and give your teammates info that there's two more, and that you need help. They'll just, and the time is still like running out for the terrorists. They have to do something. Well, you might get naded here, but like that's not the point. So it's a 4v5 already, and you have the advantage. You should always get 1 versus 1s. In this situation, for example, when I'm playing here, there's usually only one person in this area, and you can get shot without them. Like there's half of a body seen, but he can't see you usually, because once they move a little bit, you can just shoot them. So that's usually 1 versus 1. This spot is usually one person. This is already kind of this is risky a bit, but if you can stand here, this would be a one headshot. So you should also be aware, if I'm doing this kind of thing, that you want to smoke palace, so that you don't get rushed out, and like throws a flashbang and rushes out and kills you, just sprays down. But this is already like really bad. This, and like you can shoot through this thing. This is really bad. Like not even talking about stairs. So you want to go get 1v1 each time and avoid 1v2s, and avoid situations where you're at disadvantage. So as I said before, you have to assess. If you have, for example, if you're in 1v2 and you have both flashes, I see so many people not using nades, not using anything they have, like, and all of them throw flashes like this, like most of them. This is so bad. If he just walks over the flash, let's say flash is coming this way, you just walk over it and you don't get flashed. This is like amazing. People throw flashes at them as in that's like, I don't know, some kind of new flash that like flashes you when it hits you in the face or something. There's so many, like there's walls for a reason in this, like nades bounce for a reason in this game. You can do a lot of stuff and like have to be aware of what you can do in each situation. Smokes are also valuable. Like if you think that you're gonna get flanked, just like if you're just juking here and you think that somebody's coming, just smoke that off and like just wait, because I doubt he's gonna go into the smoke, because that's really disadvantageous, because you lose orientation in the smoke. And you also should predict what the enemy will do when you're using all of these methods or whatever I'm talking about. If you've played like a few rounds already and you know that each time there's a guy coming here trying to be, I don't know, sneaky or whatever, then you just can wait for him next time. Just wait here, approximate the time that he's gonna be, and just pre-fire. That's kind of another thing I want to talk about. When terrorists come in and they don't see anyone, they tend to be kind of... They either go really ham, as in they think that nobody's here and just start taking over without checking spots, basically. Or they are in a rush to find someone and they don't check properly. So you just can catch them off guard. Like, for example, you catch a person over here and then just go out and kind of just spray down, and you might get another person and then just hide. That's if you die afterwards like you did, perfect. That's like amazing. Your teammate should win 4v3. Not every time, but like they should win it in theory. So, to sum up, you want to play safe, play for time, play angles, use nades, assess the situation, use radar,